would you rather have people agree with you or disagree with you?
I don't care if you agree or disagree. At least have an understanding as to what my mentality is, so that when you walk away, you don't try to attribute malicious intent to me.
I would rather have clarity and disagreement than having hostility. People have this weird perception of Elder TikTok that I'm right. No, absolutely not. My platform is a safe space. Those people who have come onto my platform, into my space, they know I create this environment where you can be yourself.
Welcome everyone to the UTP podcast, Unfiltered Talk podcast. We're very grateful to have you all on for episode 24. I'm with my boy, Elder TikTok. Say what's up real quick.
Hola a todos, mi gente. What's good, everybody? Good to be back here on UTP podcast. Thanks for all the love we've been receiving on our UTP media channel. We are the first Polynesian social media marketing agency in the world. I think. I haven't done my research, but we appreciate all the love we've been getting on UTP Media. We have a lot of retainer clientele so far, and we got a lot of people hitting us up. We just filmed the video today. We are on the clock 24/7. You know, we signed up for this job, but we're trying to put on for our Polynesian people and our people here in Utah. So appreciate the love. Make sure you subscribe and follow not just the UTP podcast, but our social media marketing agency.
Please like and subscribe this video if y'all like the topics that we're talking about. We got some controversial stuff for y'all. A lot of it coming from Elder Dig Dog.
Look, bro, before you open your mouth one more time, bro, willingly. People think I'm controversial, but I'm just honest. No, I'm lit. What people don't understand is everything I say or I have an opinion about, that's me. That's my opinion. That's what I say. That's what I believe. And it just happens to be something that not the normal people and the blind followers fall into a lot of these times. I like to think outside the box a lot, and a lot of people like to think inside the box. And when you stray out of it, you get kind of ostracized a little bit. You know what I mean? You get extrapolated from the main group. So what I'm trying to say is, what I say may come across as controversial, but like even the word controversial is relative and subjective in itself. So whatever I say, it's what I'm feeling and it's what I feel confident in talking about.
See, here's the thing. I don't think what you're saying is that controversial.
Same.
I think it's not what you said.
It's how you said it. Oh, great. See, wait, why did you make your voice like that, though?
Listen, bro, because it's all the aunties and uncles, bro, that be watching your stuff. Cause, like, for instance, right? You shot a podcast and you're talking about how you don't believe in regrets.
Yeah.
Old heads looking at that are like, who the hell is this 25-year-old kid telling me that he doesn't believe in regrets when I have all these regrets and mistakes that I made and stuff? And I'm like, hold on, auntie.
To you, auntie. To you, uncle, respectfully. But look, this is why it is so hard to have conversation with the old heads. Excuse me. The old generation. OGs. Right? It's because your guys' mentality block is the same. Okay. And so when it comes to youngins like us, we are raised in a different world. Like I said, everything we're about to say from now on, we say with the utmost respect. I know we like to joke around and everything, but if something comes across as, demeaning or undermining, it's not what it is at all. And that's on you. That's on your conscience to take what we say as this is what we're saying, not as disrespect.
Are you victim blaming?
Am I?
Oh, you're offended? It's your fault for being offended for taking what I said. Come on, bro.
All right. So wait, what was you saying about your dad?
So what I was saying was my dad calls me. He's talking to me about how his classmates had gotten a hold of one of the clips that you put out. Kahuku grads, by the way. And a lot of them were upset. Here's the thing. You're a 25-year-old kid.
24, please.
24-year-old man. 24-year-old young man. Sorry, let me rephrase that.
Yeah, that I don't know, but I do that.
You're a 24-year-old young man who has a platform and shares with thousands of people listening.
Every day. Thousands of people watch it every day, respectfully.
And so some people take your word as authoritative when it comes to explaining the reality of things, right? How things are.
Exactly. And I think you touched on something super important. And my mom tells me this all the time. When I'm saying something, I guess it's either my tonality or my presence or my aura, if you will. But they think I'm coming from a place of authoritativeness, like where I'm saying, if you disagree with me, you're wrong. That's not the case at all. If you know who I am and watch my content, I am very fluid. I am very open-minded. So when I say things, I'm confident in what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm right and you're wrong. I'm saying this is how I feel, and I'm confident in how I feel.
Do you think because of okay, let's talk about social media and the what do you call it, the content creation space, right? Because of the platform that you have, right? So many people tuning in, so many people who can misconstrue and misinterpret. Yeah, you like that word, bro. Okay. Misconstrue.
Spell that real quick. Spell that real quick. Spell that word.
Miss and con and then strew, brother. With so many people tuning in, is there a level of responsibility that content creators should have in the types of content that they put out?
Ooh, that is such a... Bruh, you don't know how many times, because people have mentioned to me, they're like, hey, or TikTok, like, you're becoming a figure in the Polynesian community. And I'm like, am I? I'm like, I'm just a kid trying to post TikToks, bro. Like, I'm just trying to post my opinion. I'm just trying to put my people on the map. And they're like, you should. It's when they come up with that wording. It's like, you have a platform where you should be doing this. I'm like, so you don't tell me what to do for my platform. If you want to do something, start your own platform. But for me and my viewership and my community, this is what I do. It's so interesting that I see comments and people telling me how to run my thing as if I don't know what I'm doing, right? Oh, because you have a wide audience, you shouldn't say this, but you should say this. I'm like, oh, so are you trying to tell me how to do my job? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if you have such a good idea, if you have an idea or if you have content that you think I should be doing, then do it yourself. But you won't do it yourself because you don't want to put yourself out there like I'm doing. You don't want to be brave and you don't want to be vulnerable, and that's fine. So, and like that's another thing too with social media. Something people get wrong a lot is they don't like to be wrong.
Sure. Nobody does.
Nobody likes to be wrong. The thing with me is I don't mind being wrong, and I'll take it one step further. I have a question for you. Would you rather have people agree with you or disagree with you?
It depends on what my goal is, brother.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
yeah. Oh, that's valid.
If my goal is, because here's my agenda, right? My agenda is to invite people into a space, into an area where we can converse and at least come to some sort of compromise, right? You be vulnerable, I be vulnerable. That's the invitation to people who listen to this stuff. We talk about tough subjects, controversial subjects, and we walk away with an understanding of what each other believes. We may or may not agree with it. So I would say I don't care if you agree or disagree. At least have an understanding as to what my mentality is so that when you walk away, you don't try to attribute malicious intent to me.
I 100% agree. I would rather have clarity and disagreement than having hostility, right? Which is what the comments tend to. A lot of the comments result to hostility. A lot of you antis
like to be hostile.
Well, the thing is, like, antis, respectfully, is like you watch one video and you immediately think you know everything about that person. You watch one video and you think you know who I am or who Unfiltered is or not just us in general, just whoever. And so for me, it's like, how can you sit there? And that is very disingenuous to think like, okay, for one of the videos that you disagreed with, that is totally fine. I am okay. I think people have this weird perception of Elder TikTok that I'm right, or like, you know, what I'm saying is the only way, right? I'm like, no, absolutely not. My platform is a safe space. Everybody knows that. And those people who have come onto my platform, into my space, they know I create this environment where you can be yourself. And if my content isn't what your needs are, if you don't feel comfortable with my content, there's an unfollow button, there's a skip button, and there's a block button. But they don't do that because they like the drama. They like the tea. So they have to watch my videos. They have to watch them because they want that drama. They want that tea. And they want that, like, chisme. You know what I'm saying?
So it's a lot more responsibility on the consumer than it is the creator.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Really?
Now, let me clarify while we're talking about this. The only responsibility I feel like I have is trying my best to be myself, but being a good example. Okay. So if I do a video that's a little edgy, if I do a video that's a little controversial, if I do a video that I'll admit that maybe it wasn't the best editing on my part,
sure,
or maybe, you know, it doesn't have the full picture. I do have to maintain, like, I have a family name to keep up, right? I am a member of the church, and I'm Polynesian. So everything I do, I try to put on for my people. You know what I'm saying?
True. And I think that's important. And I think, but when you're putting them on, let me ask you, because, and this is more representative of the mindset of the older generation, which is that things are so different from how they grew up, right? They grew up, it was work your 9 to 5, put money away in a retirement account. Then at 65, you boom, retired, have your investments and stuff.
Which is a great life, by the way, which is amazing.
Great life. But sometimes, do you feel like people from the older generation look down at the younger generation with resentment in seeing that it's, and this is how they perceive it, that it's easier than how they had it when they were younger, and therefore there is a level of resentment that they have towards us?
Absolutely. I genuinely feel, not all, but you do get those underlying undertone kind of undermining sentiments like, oh, you didn't have it as hard as us.
Mm-hmm.
True, but not true at the same time, right? I'll go as far as to say the older generation sometimes does make it feel like they had it harder than us, right? And, you know, like I said, once again, to preface with respect, you guys went through things that we didn't go through, but we go through things that you guys don't go through, period, right? You know, you hear some of these people talking about like, oh man, if I was your age and I had the resources you had, man, I'd be doing. I'm like, no, absolutely not. It's easier said than done. Trust me. And look how many Polynesians are doing what we're doing. Not a whole lot. And you wonder why. So I think we are blessed. Me, on a more personal note, I'm blessed to have family and close loved ones that actually support what I do.
Of course,
right? They don't shoot it down.
Of course.
And they defend me in rooms I'm not in. And so to the older generation, we learn so much from them. Life lessons that they went through that we don't have to.
Yep.
But at the same time, if you could listen to us and see how much value we can provide from a young buck perception or a perspective, I really feel like a lot of problems could be solved in the Polynesian culture.
You want to hear something funny? Like absolutely hilarious too. Maybe you notice this. The older generation that looks down and judges the younger generation, right? Those are the ones who raised the younger generation, instructed them, and then equipped them with the tools to handle the challenges that we face nowadays.
No, 100%.
And so they're looking down at their own creation, their own the influence that they had.
You're a product of your village. You're a product
of their village, and then they're judging them and saying, "Wow, look at this generation. They're so spoiled. They're so they have a much easier time.
Entitlement issues.
They're
maybe.
entitled."
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, hold on, you taught them to be that way by the way that you parented them.
And respectfully, if you didn't parent them right, they learned it from other sources, right? So if they end up a certain way that's not in alignment with what your standards and your morals are, then whose fault is that really?
Absolutely.
Right? So I kind of wanted to circle back. So what did the old generation have a problem with when I said I didn't believe in regrets?
Well, here's the thing. So it wasn't what I explained to my dad and to like my message to the older generation. It's not the conclusion that they came to, right? That's not what it wasn't the, Elder TikTok's being authoritative. Oh, he's this X, Y, and Z, right? It was the process that they used to get to that conclusion that was representative of the old head mindset, which was let's take these non-related variables and then put them all together, and then that's Elder TikTok. You know what I mean?
Non-related variables is what everybody likes to do when they try to pass judgment on social media. Right?
Yes, they have to. There's a story they have to tell themselves to make them feel better about their opinion.
Absolutely, and to validate their opinion.
Validate
it.
Like
I don't like Elder TikTok. Why? Oh, because this and that, which has nothing to do with it. Has no relation to anything that I'm actually doing or saying. And you know what's crazy about that? You wanna know what's crazy? I'm gonna say it. Buckle up.
All right, go ahead, say it.
Polynesians suck at distinguishing these two variables, the messenger and the message. I think one of the biggest problems with Polynesians is that we get in our feelings too much and our emotions take over because that poly pride.
Yep.
And when you disagree with something or you don't like something or the way it was said, you immediately combine that with the messenger or the person who said that.
Yeah.
I can fully, like, you know, you're a 49ers fan. Like, what the suck? Ain't nobody like the 49ers.
Hold on, brother.
Ain't nobody like the 49ers. Oh, sorry.
You're
what?
doing what the old heads do now, where you take the unrelated variables.
Okay, who's your team?
Listen, bro, I don't got no team. I am a fan of the sport. I love seeing good
that
football.
Doesn't help, then.
Because I know you're a Seahawks fan, and y'all been having it rough the past few years. So
rough is a little bit of a harsh term.
Ever since that pick that Russell Wilson threw in.
Oh my gosh! All right. Anyways, we're not talking about that. Okay. Well, you're big back. You like to eat food. So, what's your favorite cereal? And why do you like that favorite cereal?
Cereal. It's got to be Apple Jacks. Love Apple Jacks.
Oh my gosh. Did you guys hear what Alema said? He thinks Apple Jacks is the best cereal. Yeah, he's corny, he's cringy, he's weird. He's a fake Samoan, he's a fake Polynesian, and he's corny. That example is exactly what these Polynesians do.
Okay, you didn't have to go in on me like that, bro.
Instead of sitting back and saying, nah, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I disagree. I do not think Apple Jacks is the move. I personally think it's Reese's Puffs because, you know, it tastes better with the milk, and I like it better personally. I can acknowledge that you like your weird Apple Jacks, but I'm not gonna personally attack you or come for you. I'm just gonna attack your opinion.
Wait, you're not gonna come after me personally and attack me with ad hominems?
Ooh. See,
that's weird.
Well, first of all, spell ad hominems first, and then
ad homonyms.
But does that example low key make sense? What I'm trying to say?
No, it makes sense.
It's like Polynesians are the best complainers when it comes to representation. Yeah. We only have The Rock and Jason Momoa, and we have no other Polynesian actors. There's no other Polynesian content creators and entrepreneurs and stuff. And then when there's an up-and-coming artist, an up-and-coming social media content creator, they will always find a way to hate on them and bring them down, either because they're jealous, or I honestly think it's because they're jealous, or we just have this hateful mentality. So it's a double standard. So Polynesians suck at just building up everybody. Some of them.
I would say some of them, definitely
some of them.
But when it comes to, and this is something we talked about with Mo and Sifo, the free stuff. It does not cost money to reshare someone's post. It doesn't cost money to like and comment on it, post it on your story. It does not cost anything to do any of that stuff, right? That is free 99. That's easy money when it comes to supporting. But even that, people have a difficult time doing. I don't know why it is. I think it's more so like the I don't want to be seen or associated with this image, right? When I'm thinking to myself like, wait, hold on, but you'll be seen and associated with all these other brands that you'll be wearing and stuff. Yeah. The ones that use the child labor in China.
Great. Here we go.
Right? You'll be using them. You'll associate with that brand. But when someone of your own people, of your own kind, right, comes out and says, "Hey, support me on this," you won't even reshare on your story.
Right. It's all. We need to be very careful about transactional relationships, right? It's always what can I get in return. However, you got to take care of yourself as well. We talked about this at Holo Holo. It's like the reason why a lot of Polynesians businesses, storefronts go under is because they have this double-edged sword mentality of taking care of everybody. Oh, come make a plate. Come take this for free. But then you fall into the mooch culture, right? Oh. And that expectancy culture. And after that, how are you making your money? You're supposed to be making money off the people, right? And that's just how business is supposed to go. That's just how support's supposed to go. So there's a fine line. I mean, excuse me. There's a balance I think that we can explore deeper for sure.
And to emphasize your point even more on Polynesians or just entrepreneurs, people who have given us a bad name and have made it harder for people to trust within our community. First of all, y'all, big news. A lot of time, brothers and sisters, evil goes unpunished. Evil runs rampant.
Oh no, he's gonna say it.
But
you're actually gonna say
today
it?
Is not that day, y'all.
Don't say it. Are you actually gonna say it?
Today is not that day.
I will not be participating in this conversation.
Jeremiah Evans, the bull Shiki Evans, was sentenced 96 months in jail with 3 years probation. He is the founder and CEO of Alpha Influence, which was an investment firm which used their familiarity and their relationships with the Polynesian community to get them to be clients, essentially. Now, there's some other names on there, too.
And wait, what was his name again?
Which one?
The first one?
Jeremiah Evans.
Is he poly?
No.
But he scammed a lot of Polynesians?
Yes.
Oh.
Through a specific.
Oh, but when I talk about the church and invite you guys to come to church and everything and you don't like what I say, it's burnout or TikTok at the stakes when you have a Palangi man stealing our people's money. I've never stolen in my life. Well, maybe a few hearts here and there, but
this is how stuff I be talking
just kidding,
about.
Babe,
with
I love
dude,
you,
bro. But anyways, Alpha Influence was recently. The whole story essentially was that they were an Amazon warehouse business. They would sell you, you would have to put down a down payment of $10,000. They would get you qualified 10 bands, bruh, and then they would get you qualified for a $40,000 or $50,000 loan to buy this warehouse, and then that warehouse would, in some ways, generate you money. But it was against Amazon's dropshipping policy. You know that Sorry, we have our own Amazon employee right here, brother.
Yeah, you know I run the Bethco ops over there. But hey, before we can, you can chop this.
Okay.
You have your facts right?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to double check.
Yes.
I trust you, but I'm like,
this is all.
I can't back you up if you get some of this stuff
No,
wrong.
no. Yes, this is all. If you guys take a look at the legal
is this
documents, public info, legal documents, a subpoena. No, not the subpoena you thinking of, brother.
Oh hell no! I can't even spell subpoena.
A subpoena. A legal document by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Dog, that's crazy, bro.
I'm dead.
A legal document by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Jeremiah the Bull Evans, Dallin Peely. There's another bunch of other guys who were sentenced to jail time because of the scam that they're running that was Alpha Influence. But to emphasize your point, circling back now, we just did the weave. We just weaved a few times, and now we're back. It's things like that sows distrust and skepticism within the entrepreneur, community when they go and ask for support from their community.
No, I 100% agree. And it's as something as simple as content creators is, like you said, we're not asking for you to like glaze or agree with every little thing that we say as social media content creators, because we know what the field is. Like, we know and understand the game, but just realize one clip on social media doesn't tell the whole story. You know what I'm saying? So, and our job as content creators is to make you feel some type of way.
Yeah.
Why do you think we're on this podcast right now? Why do you think so? When I make my videos, my intention is to make you feel some type of way, right? It's always positive too.
How are you trying to make them feel? Upset and distraught?
No, so it's always positive over here. It's always a learning experience, and it's always open conversation, right? Polynesians tend to complain that we're not shedding light on situations that are swept under the rug, and then when I do shed light and do talk about some stuff, then it's pitchforks, then it's burn at the stake, right? So it's for those few people who are watching our content that stick around and that are loyal and that actually appreciate what we're doing. That's who we do it for, right? Now, even our followers, right? They're not going to agree with a lot of the videos that we do, which is totally fine. And we're not asking you guys to do that. We're just asking you guys to keep an open mind and appreciate perspectives. You have your opinion, we have ours, and at the end of the day, we still dap up. But it's when you come with those personal attacks and immediately assume you know everything about a person, it shows that you're really stuck in that small mindset. And your poly pride and you get in your feelings a lot, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. It's always.
And also, before you just say, like when you're in your feelings, it's honestly that too. Even though we are talking about sensitive topics and controversial things, like relatively, at the end of the day, it's actually not that serious. Like, it's not that deep. Like, we're not trying to manipulate, gaslight, or clout chase, anything like that. There's no deeper meaning. We literally are here just to have open conversations. It's really not that serious. Like it like we do it with intentionality, but like we're not dying over this thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like no. It's like we also like making content for the fun side of it.
Why'd you go? Oh, no. What was that?
That was my skirt.
No, I agree. It's like for content creators and for influencers, right? Just put them in their own box. There's no need to internalize the things that they say or do, and then to act like oh my gosh, like I'm like Elder TikTok is just the worst person ever because
Because
he told me that he doesn't believe in regrets, as if he knows what he's talking about because he's 24 years old. And then he
Heaven
said,
forbid.
and then he said that we only have to, you know, if you only wear the bottoms on your garments, you know, that's good enough. Like, who does he think he is, bro? You know what I mean? Feel me?
I don't think I'm anybody, to be honest. It's you guys who are making these assumptions about me in your head. You know what I'm saying? You've never met me before. You know what's crazy too, and you've experienced this too 100%. Like, whoever's watching our videos, they know who we are. They know us by name. We have no idea who you guys are, respectfully. You know what I mean? Like, if you have to keep talking about us, that shows more about you than it does us. You know what I'm saying? We love our support from our followers, though, for real. And we know some of them, and we know a lot of them personally. But those personal attacks, for me, it doesn't do much because, like, I just don't know who you are, respectfully.
Well, and there is an aspect of content creation where, because it's not that serious for us, when we post something, we totally expect backlash.
Oh yeah, we signed up for that.
We signed up for it, and sometimes you're searching for it because of the algorithm.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
You know what else? That when you make content like you said, going off what you said, you notice that people will comment only on the videos they hate and don't like. Bro. But all the other positive videos, all the other great videos, you do a collab with so-and-so, you talk about the church like this, you make a happy video, you make it like, you know, a good, genuine content. But in that one video they don't like, then they show up. That shows a lot. Like, they think we don't notice these kind of things. It's like, that shows what kind of person you are. You're only there for the drama, and it's very, very obvious.
Yeah, and I'm sure you could probably name some people by name who...
Shione, Tina, Auntie Rachel. That's why the random names. Random names.
Yeah, all right. Them names ain't random, bro.
I literally just like it randomly.
I recognize a few of them. Did you have some topics you wanted to bring? I saw you bring up your phone, brother.
Hey, man. When it comes to the Polynesian groups, who do you reckon, which island has the best food?
Hawaii.
Wow.
Who else?
I literally thought you were going to go somewhere else with that.
Who else?
Oh, that's fine. That's your opinion. That's great. It's wrong, but whatever.
Tautai,
which
who
island?
Else?
No, next. Which island has the best athletes?
It's got to be the Samoans, bro.
Not biased.
It's got to be Samoa.
Fine. Well, if Samoa has the best athletes, respectfully, which island has the most attractive people?
As a whole.
Correct.
Per capita.
W-H-O-L-E, not H-O-L-E. But yes, whole.
Here we go,
Just
bro.
to clarify.
As a whole. Right off the bat, it's not the Tongans. I'm going to just say that. I got to make that clear, bro. It's not the Tongans.
So you notice how I phrased my question, which one has? It wasn't which one is not. You literally just...
But I had to specify because...
Which island?
Because the Tongans don't even date their own.
Yeah, they do.
No.
Yes, they do.
Not as a general.
Wait, shouldn't
rule?
you know? You're Tongan, aren't you?
No, bro.
Oh my bad. Sorry, dog. I actually thought you were. Pili Mai? That's Samoan last name.
That's Samoan,
man.
Bro.
I'm plastic. I'm hella Fia Palangi. That's crazy.
Yeah, hella plastic.
Anyways, okay. Well, answer the question. You can double up if you want. Hurry, I got some more.
The best looking. I think Tahitians have a very.
That's a crazy pull.
You know what I mean?
That's a crazy pull.
They have a very attractive features. Elegant. Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. I saw this Tahitian guy the other day on. I forgot. I think it was Tahitian Nori ad.
Okay.
An old Tahitian Nori ad. You right. Okay. Ooh, which island produces the best singers?
Oh, shucks, bro. See, that's a tough one, dog.
We all can sing, but there's one island that takes the cake. It takes the panipopo. It takes the palusami. It takes
Polynesians
it takes the guava cake. Yes, this is a Polynesian podcast. Like, what you talking about?
Because I was gonna say like Kiribati might be up there.
Bro, they can sing, bro.
Or Marshall Islands. Definitely up there.
Bro. Well, no, Marshall Islands up there, but stop getting off topic. Which island you reckon has the best singers?
It's got to be Samoa. Samoa or Tonga? Tonga, they're up there.
Incorrect. Coming from a Samoan, that's incorrect.
What?
It's Aotearoa. It's New Zealand. Every single church, every single shop, every single rugby team. Are you crazy? They produce singers naturally. They come out the womb singing in those crazy riffs.
No, you're right. No, you're right. Yeah, I should have. Per capita. Yeah,
per capita is crazy.
Per capita, they have better singers than Samoans and Tongans.
Okay. Which island do you reckon has the best chance at that one gorilla?
Just based off of like build, Tongans.
Fact. And that's gonna be from a Samoan. Oh,
it's gonna be.
I know I'm repping T's today. I'm Samoan though, but like just pure build and ferocity, it's gotta be the Tongans, bro.
The gorilla's gonna be there like, whoa, family, what is we doing? Hey, yo, hey, it's me, Junior. What are y'all? Why are we fighting?
Are you laughing at your own joke? Which island do you reckon has the most, respectfully, like, which island is like the most intelligent?
Most intelligent? Oh, that's a tough one.
Like the most sophisticated.
Most sophisticated. I would say Hawaii is up there. Hawaii has, think about it, Hawaii has their own university. Yeah. They have a great school system there.
Hold on, Kamehameha grad you.
Kamehameha grad.
Oh, wow.
Because. Yeah, it's got to be Hawaii.
Okay. All right. Which island do you reckon? Let's see. We did music, songs, athletes, fighting.
Ooh, which is the most faithful per capita?
Per capita. Well, statistically, I'm only referring to the Mormon Church. It is Tonga.
It's Tonga.
Samoa's up there too, though. American Samoa. Oh, is American Samoa? Are we combining both of them? We have to, huh?
I think you got to, bro.
Okay, last one. And please be very careful with how you answer this because you've already got half of the other ones wrong. Which island do you reckon has the best kava? Yeah.
When you say best kava, do you mean
everything? General taste, how fast you get cut, how fast it sinks to the bottom. Is it collaboratable? Is that a word? Is it easily mixed with other beverages? Can other chasers work with it to get that, that kava high? What can you just do buckets of and buckets of?
I'm going to say, and I know what you're fishing for, I'm going to say Fiji because it's part of the Polynesian islands.
And that's correct. It is Fiji, and kava is crazy good. It's so underrated. Good. I don't think you guys understand.
But if we're including all the islands, it's Vanuatu.
First of all, it'd be Kiribati, then Fiji, then Vanuatu. I'm telling you, bro.
What?
And first of all, we're not including Micronesia.
Kiribati?
Yes. Bro.
First of all, Vanuatu is a Melanesian island, actually.
Oh, it's right. That's true. That's
not
true.
a micro. See, he don't know ball like that, brother.
Okay, that was a crazy pull.
He don't know ball like that.
That was a crazy pull.
But yeah, I would say Fiji and then Vanuatu if we're doing all islands. Okay.
Do you think there's a lot of toxicity when it comes to the Polynesian culture? I'll ask you like this. Like I said, the old heads are not going to like this one. They're not going to like this verbiage. Do you think physical discipline like Fasi, getting sasad and stuff, do you think that's toxic?
From like the family studies background that I have a little bit in, yes.
Okay. No, that's good. Okay.
There are 99.99% of sasas that you give to your kids are going to have negative outcomes.
Okay.
99,
okay.
But it's because of a person's inability to distinguish between I'm hitting this person to teach them a lesson, or I'm hitting this person because I'm emotionally upset and I am unable to restrain myself from acting on my emotions.
Okay. What about yelling and lecturing? Is that toxic?
Yeah, it's a tool that, if used correctly, can be used to instruct a kid, but I would say most cases, it's usually toxic.
Okay. So, my thing is, we're talking about all this toxicity with Polynesian culture, right? All these raising, upbringing, and there's tons of more that we're not talking about. Of course. And this isn't just like a cultural thing, but sometimes what we hear as Polynesians is, the people cheat a lot sometimes too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of substance abuses, even kava itself, right? We got a lot of drug abuse. We got a lot of, smoking, drinking, all that kind of abuse. So, we're ready? Why is it disrespectful to call out toxic behavior in your family? If you call it out to someone, especially if they're older than you, if they're lecturing you and you say, why are you lecturing me when you're doing XYZ? That's disrespectful, but it's okay to talk about them behind their back. It's okay to spread rumors behind their back. Why is that disrespectful too, or no? Like, what's going on?
Absolutely, because you're creating an environment where it's okay to talk shit.
Ugh. Yeah.
But I think that Polynesians, because why it's so like taboo to like actually call out and to criticize people openly, is because they conflate the cultural expectations with this is how it's supposed to be.
Supposed to be. Yes. I agree. And it's like, no, it's not how it's supposed to be. That's how you were raised it to be. Yeah. You got to understand, we in a different world right now.
Different world, bro. We got color TVs now, brother.
Bro, bro, they didn't even have TVs back then.
We got cell phones, y'all. Please join us in 2025. Gosh dang.
Nah, for real. That's just something I wanted to bring up a little bit. It's just like, it's one of those things.
Well, let me ask you.
Okay.
There are good things about Polynesian culture, old head mindset. I call it old head mindset. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm more so, that's just the way that my mind
That's the social
works.
term, though. That's like old heads, right?
The old head mindset, right? What about the newer generation do you not like that has strayed from the traditional ways of thinking?
Entitlement.
Okay.
I would say. Hold on. Ask me that question again. Sorry, that was just my knee-jerk reaction.
What has changed? What has changed from the old generation to the new generation that has strayed from the traditional expectations, right? That you don't like? Because there's a lot of new stuff that we like, right? But there's also a lot of new stuff that we don't like.
I'm trying to think of a good answer for you.
Light-skinned kids. That's another one.
All right, bro.
My bad.
I'm trying to think of how I want to give you a good answer here. What do I not like about you? I'm trying to think of like what I can work on myself.
Could be.
I'm not gonna. You know what I'm gonna say?
Oh, here we go.
It's actually this right here.
The cell phone?
I'm not gonna lie. It's this.
The money maker?
The money maker is also something that I think has toxicized the young mind. I think that this is one of the greatest creations ever.
Yeah.
I also think it's one of the worst creations ever.
Ooh.
This thing has convinced people to think, act, say certain things that we would never have even thought. We have access to everything we want on this thing. That's why I try my best to use it in a positive way, right?
Of course.
But that's something I don't like about this generation is sometimes this is our God, right? And I've fallen victim to that myself,
yep.
Right? Sometimes we want to trust this more than actually having a conversation, right? So what I suggest is you take everything with this. I'm talking about social media. I'm talking about YouTube. I'm talking about everything. You take it with a grain of salt, and then you apply it to your own life and see if it works. Okay? We are not trying to tell you how to live your life. When you watch our videos, we're not trying to tell you how to live your life. We are giving you our thoughts and opinions and suggestions. Take that, apply it to your life. Especially, you can relate to us. We're Polynesian, bro. But it might not transfer over directly or exactly, but there's a lot of common ground that you can find from our videos.
I agree. I think the cell phone, here's what it is, right? We have so many tools at our disposal, and they are constantly being misused and abused.
The misuse of tools. Yep, I like that. No, I really like that. The misuse
of a tool. And that's what the older generation looks down at. Like, man, you guys have so many things at your disposal. You guys have the internet. You guys have AI. You guys have these technologies that were not available to them during their, again, color TVs, right? Sorry, that's the first one that comes to my mind.
Hey, Siri.
But we have so many of these things at our disposal, and they look at us and they think, man, you guys just use and abuse them for your own selfish gain instead of using it for a righteous purpose.
And so why do you think we're doing what we're doing right now? It's for a righteous purpose, OGs. So whether you don't understand it fully, you can ask us, right? Ask content creators, or really try to see our perspective and why we do the things we do. Why did we edit it like this? Why did we frame it like that? That way you can understand what we're doing, right? Instead of having the instead of having the older and wiser than thou mentality or complex, which is which is true to an extent. You can really see where we're coming from, right? We're not doing it out of pride. Sometimes we're high maka maka. Sometimes we're sometimes we're fia poco. But I promise, like, we all have good intentions at the end of the day. We stray off a little bit, but don't worry, we come right back. We try our best to.
Completely agree. I think it's at the end of the day, the reason why we do this, right? One, it's fun as hell.
It's hella fun. It's super fun for us. Yeah,
dude, hella fun. I mean, we have a trip planned out to go out to Hawaii and go for one of our clients, right? Hawaii Home Rentals with Kyle Rican. Love you, brother. First of all,
thanks for flying us out. We're so excited to make this content for you, bro.
So excited. But those are some of the things that can come from entering this content creation space, where you're able to do these services for other people, and you get paid for it,
bro. I was about to tell you, bro. I was just about to say this, like. We have all these haters all the time being like, oh, you're doing this for views and you're doing this for clout and stuff. I've met people and I've networked with people I never would have dreamed of. I'm literally living my dream right now. Yeah. And I'm getting paid to do it. So, like, and you see how fun it is too. You know what I mean? Like, me and you, like, we're just starting, but we can see how fun this stuff is. You know, when you're getting paid flights, you know, when you're having clients pay you to do a good service, right? We're not abusing the money. We are literally doing it to support ourselves and to support the dream. So that's something I think a lot of people don't understand about the hustle. Some people do as entrepreneur mindsets, but they just see, oh, you're just doing it for clout. You're doing it for clicks and views. But because we are genuine content creators and we do it for a greater purpose, right? Views, likes, followers, comments, those are just byproducts of our hard work, right? We don't control those. We really don't. But it's just so cool to see our hard work paying off and stuff like that.
Last question for you, because I know we've highlighted the positive side of content creation.
Yeah, we have. Is this your last question you want to ask of the pod? Because I have a funny one I just remembered I wanted to ask you.
Okay, you go share yours first, because mine was kind of a...
Okay, we'll end off yours. And this is just a clip, by the way. But, bro, you know what I was saying? Bro, Mexicans? Sorry, I don't know why I started it like that. Órale, vato, güey. Ya tú sabes, güey. Mexicans, fool. My vato cuesta barrio, bro. Bro, Mexicans should be Polynesians. Think about it. They have all of their culture is dead ass like same as Samoan culture. God, familia, y respeto. Sorry, I don't know if that's the right word or not. Yo hablo español un poquito, ya tú sabes, güey. Yo entiendo mucho, pero no hablo bueno. But bro, every Mexican I've met is literally Polynesian, just like with a little bit of a harder work ethic. That's it. And I love the Mexican culture. And I'm part Mexican. I don't know if you knew that. No, you did know that.
I think I did know that.
Yeah. And so, wait, you're not Mexican too, are you?
Quiero comerte yo todos los días.
Wow.
Me enamorabas con lo que decía.
Voy buscando una lady como tú la quiero así. So, wait, are we the same mix?
Frick, we might be, bro.
I'm someone Mexican.
Someone Mexican, Hawaiian.
I'm someone Mexican. What the? No, you know my mom's. Okay,
wait.
You don't have to clue this in. My auntie Maria, her name's Maria. Hello, Maria Perez.
Freaking away.
Wait, so my full mix. This is kind of crazy. I'm half Samoan, obviously, half Kasi, a quarter Mexican, Hawaiian Chinese.
See, I'm Hawaiian Japanese.
Oh,
dog, that is crazy.
That is crazy.
That is.
Oh man, bro. But what I was trying to say, because like, this is just a little funny clip I wanted to put out. Like, as much as I look Mexican, I'm more tapped in with our Polynesian Samoan culture. I've kind of branded myself as a Polynesian content creator, but the reality is I am part Mexican, and that's something I admire and I actually love being mixed. And so I don't know if you're down or curious, or I don't know if you're down, but I would love to explore more of our Mexican. Damn, see, I'm programmed. Our Mexican culture, bro, because Mexicans literally have so many cool crossovers with Polynesian culture. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, you can see the product of a Polynesian Mexican, you know, the best. Hey, even you too.
It's a special breed.
It's a special breed. No, it is. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You get the Samoan largeness, you know what I mean? but then the Mexican fairness.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
The large in stature, but sexy and fair. You know what I mean?
A little. Oh my gosh, yes. That's the most underrated mix. If you're someone Mexican, bro, we want to find more of our people out there. That's a crazy mix.
Les quiero compartir algo cerca de la cultura de Mexico.
He don't know what that means. He don't know what that means.
No, listen here. The Hispanic culture, right? Mexican culture, it is very much similar to Polynesian culture.
Absolutely.
The respect for your elders, husbands providing the traditional, homemaker model that we look at. And then of course, like, go out and work hard, like the work ethic, bro. The work ethic. When you see, the so I was gonna say derogatory term. When you see the los hombres muy fuerte working out and doing their landscaping, bro, you know what I mean? Like, it's because of their work ethic.
100%.
You know what I mean? They're out there working hard. They do provide quality work.
The Mexicans are the hardest workers I've ever met in my entire life.
And I feel the same way about guys, Samoa and Tongans who do yate, right?
Oh, yes.
It's going to be top tier quality.
100%. Because it's that blue collar work, you know what I mean? Get your hands dirty and stuff like that. So, no, I really do appreciate the Mexican culture, coming from a Mexican myself. So I really want to tap in more into our Hispanic culture.
Estamos agradecidos por todo.
Sí, igual.
Lo que nos da.
Igualmente, güey. Lo siento mucho. Yo entiendo mucho español, pero no hablo bueno. Ya tú sabes. Mi abuelo es de Culiacán, de México.
Dueling will be.
Hey, AI is crazy.
It's crazy, bro.
All right, let's wrap this up. Last question. Clip that one up. That one would be a good one.
What do you do? How do you react when you post a video that does not perform as well that you invested a lot of time into?
Bruh. Are you talking about like numbers wise, like performance wise, like
numbers
that?
Wise.
Everything. I just reevaluate. Bro, honestly, I'm like, damn. Then I reevaluate, come back. And if it didn't do good, maybe it wasn't meant to do good. You know what I mean? Maybe I put my heart and soul into this edit. Like, man, this is a fire edit. And then it to use our terms, it flops or whatever, right? It crashes. And it's always the ones you think are not going to blow up that do the best. Yeah. It's always the one that you just throw together and it blows up and does the best. Like, I don't know how it happens like that. But no, if a video doesn't perform as well as you think it is, that's okay. That's why you always have a content strategy in place. Like, all right, well... And there's always a reason why it didn't do good, whether it was posting time, whether it was the algorithm, whether it was the SEO at the time of day, whether it was the hashtag combinations was kind of, a little bit faulty, whether it was your hook was ass. Excuse me, I can't say that. Whether it was your hook was trash. Like, honestly, I'm gonna say 70% of the time your videos don't do good because your hook is trash. And I watch all these people's videos and I'm like, that hook was tragic. It didn't work. Rarely that 30%, it's because the payoff and the value of the video was like actually hella funny, and you want to watch the whole time. But 70% of the time, it's the hook.
So you don't sit in your room and cry and eat your.
I didn't say that. Hey, bro. Chill out with all that.
Oh, hold on, brother. Because the other day when I came down into the basement and you was listening to Drake, on blast, bro. Sitting at your desk. Why?
Hey, that's 24/7. Why did this video get 1 million? Question. Now let me flip it on you.
Okay.
Are you chasing virality? Do you want to go viral?
Here's the thing. It would be nice. It would be nice.
You don't have to lie, bro. Do you want to go? Do you want to go viral? Yes or no?
Here's the thing. Listen to me, bro. Okay. All I care about is that my work is consistent and maintains this level of quality. Whether or not it goes viral, those are things that I cannot control, right? So for me, I love posting stuff because it's so much fun to edit.
Facto.
So much fun to put stuff together, like to come up with an idea and then to see it come to fruition. I'll teach you a little bit more about that word later. I know they didn't teach you that at
You're gonna give me some of your what?
American Ford.
But no, I wanted to, and I knew you were gonna answer like that, and that's why That's why I went into business with you. It low-key cringes me out, and I'm just like, it bugs me when people are chasing virality.
Yes.
Right? They like, oh, we can do this to go viral. This will go viral. Like, that is just a byproduct of what happens. It would be nice, right? Nice. Like, you're never going to see a content creator be like, I don't want to go viral. It's like, no. But if you're chasing virality, that kind of shows where your intentions are. What I'm chasing is conversation, genuine humanness, connection, and conversation, right? And now sometimes some of those videos happen to do what they do
really well.
But if you really are focused on like, I'm going viral, or like we got to do this so we can go viral, it's just not the most healthy mentality, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Set you up for disappointment.
100%. Oh yes, 100%.
See, but if you do it for the love of the game,
but if you're a dog, bro,
if you're a dog, you do it for the love of the game.
And if you come from the mud and 20 videos later, one of your videos goes up, that feeling, bro, is like, damn, the algorithm loves me today, and that all that hard work pays off.
See, I saw a post the other day of like, oh man, only 50 people liked my post. But then I look at
but the room was like 50, and then it said, oh, only 100 people liked my. I'm like, hold up, that's damn. And then it's like, damn, my video flopped. How many did you get? Just 1,000. I'm like, do you know how much 1,000 people are that took the time to like that video? 1,000 people?
It's a lot,
bro. I'll even say 500. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? 500 is a lot,
bro. If you could
what are you talking about?
If you could get all your cousins to just like a video, that's at least.
Oh my gosh, that's
at
least 1K.
At least.
Well, how many subscribers are you at?
Subscribers were like 300.
Nice.
380.
380.
390. Sorry, 390. No, 380. 380.
Nice, nice, bro.
And I haven't been posting often.
That's my point, bro. And like people don't see the numbers grow immediately. They gas out. They give out. They give up. Right? They throw in the towel. It's like this game is not easy. It's fun as hell, but it's a long game, bro. And you see a lot of content creators think they can be content creators, and they fall off, right? Because they burn out. They burn out, exactly, bro. I think I'm around that same benchmark on YouTube, bro. That's a lot to me, bro. Once I get my 1,000, then I might play Drake and
giveaway. Uh-oh.
I'm doing a giveaway. I'm doing a giveaway at 100K on IG.
On IG. You should, bro.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
All right, y'all. Well,
if you want a free OnlyFans pic from Elder Takes, if you want a free kiss on the lips,
y'all, listen. If y'all Venmo me $50 right now, I will send you a picture of Elder TikTok.
No, I know what video. No, I know what picture. It's when I was sleeping, huh? Or is it the edit? It's either the edit or the. Okay, cut the shit. No, bro.
Hey, y'all. Hey. Appreciate y'all tuning in to the 24th episode of the Unfiltered Talk podcast, UTP Media. Guys, go ahead and hit us up on social media. It's, hold on. Alema _Peely on Instagram, Unfiltered Talk Pod on Instagram, UTP_media on Instagram, also Elder TikTok on Instagram. Show us some support, y'all. We appreciate y'all. The podcast for the people, by the people, and without a filter. We'll catch y'all later.
Chee-hoo.